गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Today we are going to explore Sadhana Panchakam, and this is a text written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. Some of you may have heard it, some of you may not have heard it. But Shankaracharya, in his great compassion for the humankind, has composed thousands and thousands of verses, various shlokas, given commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, composed compositions like Manisha Panchakam, Bhaj Govindam, and Saundarya Lahari, and one of them is also Sadhana Panchakam. And this flowering of these verses, it comes out of his heart because he is concerned. He loves the mankind. He wants everyone to achieve what he has achieved. And what has Shankara achieved? Adi Shankaracharya ji has achieved. I'll tell you a little bit short story, and with that you will understand. Shankaracharya ji was born in Kerala, and at age of 8 he left home to go to study, and he went to his gurus Govindapad and Gaudapadacharya. There, within few years, he mastered all the scriptures, and after that he left his masters also, teachers, because no seed can become a tree if it is fallen under its mother tree. It has to be blown away. When it blown away, then it becomes a tree in its own right. So it becomes tree in its own right. So therefore, Adi Shankaracharya also, he left his, it is natural. Once you get married, you will also move away from your home, husband or wife, whichever way. Children also move away from parents as they grow up, isn't it? You also moved away from your country. That's why we are here. So same way, this is a natural phenomena that in order to explore our potential, we need to move away and be independent. See? And Adi Shankaracharya also, he moved away, and from that age, 10 to 16, in that 6 years, he started contemplating and writing the commentaries on the main scriptures, which is basically the Upanishads, Gita, and the Brahma Sutras. When he had done all that, and he had meditated on it, and he was absolutely clear that he is none other than Supreme Reality. But there was one more point here, and that was why this urgency that I want to realize myself, because there was a Bhavishyavani, there was a, English mein kya bolte hain Bhavishyavani ko? But there was a prediction by a saint who had visited their home, and he said when he is 16 years of age, he will die. So Adi Shankaracharya's urgency that before 16 years, I must come to know who I am. Okay? That urgency. Do you know when you're going to die? So your urgency should be even greater because it can happen any moment. Me too. Huh? It can be tomorrow, it can be after 1 hour, it can be in months, few days, few years. We don't know. So we must be ever prepared. See? And Shankaracharya ji, by his life, he exemplifies how one should be prepared. And when he was prepared, he knew that this is the date and this is the year and this is the month that he is going to breathe his last. Where was he? He was in Badrinath. And in Badrinath, Adi Shankaracharya ji is sitting there waiting for the last breath to happen. And he knows he is the self. So everything will be over. At that time, you know the great Maharishi Vedvyas, who wrote the Puranas, who brought the Vedas as we know it today in front of us. That great Vedvyas, his place is in Badrinath. There is a Vyas Gufa near Managaon. So he used to live there. He saw, because he's a great master, he's a great realized master. He came to know someone like this fellow is somewhere around here. And he went, he says, and he asked, what are you trying to do? He says, I'm waiting for death to come. And if I tell you that, if someone tells you that I'm waiting for death to come, and because of the greatness of Maharishi Vedvyas, he could see the greatness of this young boy, 16 years old. He says, death is not an event in life. Death is not an event in life. We wait. One day when I will die. Arey, you are dying every moment. Isn't it? You close your eyes, the whole world is dead. Every time you breathe out, you are dead. Every night you go to sleep, you are dead to yourself. Do you know you are available or not when you go to sleep? No. So death is a principle, like gravity is a principle, like Newton's law is a principle. Similarly, death is also a principle. Very important point. Death is not an event in life. It is a principle of life. We are surrounded by it. It's happening. The moment we were born, expiry date is already there. Every moment, something is expiring. Some cell in our body is expiring, isn't it? A new one is being born. You don't realize it because you're thinking so fast, but it is happening. And when Vedvyas ji spoke in this manner, he didn't say exactly what I just told you, but something like that. And he said, now you go. Till now you lived your life only for yourself. Why? Self-realization, isn't it? Now I give you 16 more years. Go and spread what you have come to know to the mankind. And it is this Adi Shankaracharya who went around the country 9 times and built all the temples from Sharda Peetham in Kashmir all the way to the 5 Shankaracharya murts to laying of the Sri Chakra under the feet of Balaji Tirupati. Every major temple that you know, he has established it. And all he did that in 16 years of his life. What an achievement. And what is our achievement? We ate breakfast and then went to toilet. Then we had lunch, then we went to toilet. Then we had dinner, then we went to toilet. That is our achievement. Converting food into garbage. Correct? Crudely put, but that is the truth, isn't it? What extra we have achieved? Something which is extraordinary. Yes, mothers have achieved. They have given birth to a kid. It's extraordinary. But after that, they lose the plot. They get attached. Anyway, so this Adi Shankaracharya thereafter lived his 16 years for the benefit of the mankind. That time, it was a great, for 2,500 years, the Buddhism had spread. And the revival of Sanatan Dharma was done by Adi Shankaracharya at that time. This was in 8th century BC. No, AD. AD. And at that time, he brought it up, established the Shankar Peethams, and then created the Naga army. You know, the Naga Babas you have heard, the Avdhuta sort of thing. And they were not there before, or they may be, but he got them together, and their job was to protect all the sannyasis. They were the warrior sannyasis. They were the ones for many, many, many centuries. Initially, they defended India along with the Punjab and all the Kshatriyas. They defended India from the onslaught of the invaders from the north. And in this way, Adi Shankaracharya, we see in various script compositions like Bhaj Govindam, he is giving a direction to the mind of the seeker. Here in this sadhana means practices. Panchakam means five practices. Actually, it is 40 practices. But put it down just like, actually we are Panchakosha. We have gross body, vital air body, mental body, intellectual body, and causal, the Anandmaya Kosh. Or you can say it is gross body, subtle body, causal body. Three alone is appearing as 5. So same way here also, 5 alone is appearing as 40, or 40 alone is appearing as 5. You can say, I am one body. Yes. But only one body? No. I am one body, which also, and you can also say, I am my arms, my legs, my head, my feet, my heart, my so many different organs. Or you can say, I am one body. Exactly the same way. This Sadhana Panchakam also, there are 5 verses. We'll try to go through them and see if those verses go through us and prepare us for the ultimate knowledge. And very simple, very beautiful composition. And the Adi Shankaracharya is telling his students, or he's telling the seekers that, and why does he need to tell the seekers or the students? Because what happens with the students especially is, when they study Gita, Brahma Sutra, and Upanishads, there is an arrogance of knowledge that I know it all. If you know it all, then but they are not practicing it in their life. There are others like us. We are so caught up in our daily life that we forget that there is a higher purpose to our living, to our coming to birth. And that higher purpose, yesterday I told, no, what was the higher purpose? Higher purpose is that human birth you have got after many papads you have belofied. Huh? Many yonis you have gone through. Then you have got your human birth because of your karmas. Or 2 ways you can say. When you say from individual point of view, it is because of the karma. But if you raise your bar a little bit, then you realize it is only the grace of Lord that he has given us the human birth. And once taken human birth, choice is ours, whether we live as a stone, whether we live as a plant, whether we live as an animal, whether we live as a human being, whether we live as a god, Devata. So choice is ours. Stone, it's inert, no life. We can live, many people you can see on the streets, they are just lying, no purpose, nothing to do, nowhere to go. We want to also do that, but consciously. They are doing it out of defeatism. They are doing it out of escapism. Then plant kingdom, it eats food from the below, from the earth, and grows to the top. But if there is no water and nourishment in the ground, plant cannot say, I want to go to Australia to eat. It cannot move. It is stuck there. And if it doesn't get food, it will die. And that is its reality. Then the animal kingdom eats food from the front and it grows at the back. Dog, elephant, anyone you take. And what are they into? They can move everywhere to find food, unlike the plant kingdom, but they have only two things. They only live to for security. They mark their boundary. Then they live for eating food. Naturally, instinctively, they know what to eat. Tiger will never eat grass. Does tiger eat grass? He does. He does. When 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 he has indigestion, then he eats grass. Just like cat, he also eats grass. But otherwise, his main meal is meat. Will cow eat meat if it has indigestion by eating grass? Never. It will always eat grass. Huh? So no, it is not interchangeable. So the animals, they eat from the front, they grow at the back, and they are more conscious than the plant kingdom, and they can move around to procure their food, and they can reproduce. Plants also can reproduce, but they are dependent on the nature. Some wind has to come, take the pollen grains, drop it on the other flower, then the seed will be created. But here in the animal kingdom, they can choose one or many, and they can procreate. So they only live for security, food, and procreation. And once the child is few years old, few months old, after that there is no attachment to the baby that they have given birth to. That is inborn in the animal kingdom. But in the human kingdom, now, okay, we leave the human kingdom for a moment. We go to devatas, gods. What are gods? Gods. So here, the stone did not have a choice. The plant did not have a choice. The animal kingdom, they don't have an intellect. They only have a mind, but it's instinctual. So they also don't have a choice. Do devatas have a choice? Devatas means the sun god, the moon god, the Shani, the Rahu, Ketu, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Do they have choice? They also don't have choice because they are all locked into their job description. Tomorrow, Shivji cannot say, "Yaar, I'm tired of not taking bath. Now I want to be like Vishnu, always 3 times a bath a day and then nice clothes every day." Shivji will never think that way. He is locked into his only destruction. Or I should say, constructive destruction. Vishnu cannot say, "Nahi yaar, always I have to dress up and I stand in front of the mirror to do the makeup. I think I will be like Shiva anytime, Avadut." He cannot do it. He's stuck in his position. So gods also do not have a freedom of choice. Then who has freedom of choice? Only human being. Only human being has a freedom of choice. And what is his freedom of choice? He can be a stone. He can be a plant. What is being a plant? Staying in the bed. Mummy, I want breakfast in bed. Mummy, lunch in bed. Mummy, dinner in bed. Mummy, bring underwear. I want to change it in bed only. No movement. Such people, they keep sleeping till 10, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they say, yeah, I was staying with one, Abhijit, and their young daughter was there. Today I started playing a game with her. What is that? The moment she got up, she remembered that I'm leaving. So she asked Dad from the bed only. She said, "Dad, why Swamiji has to leave today?" He said, "Because he has to go. It is already..." So she came down and I said, "Oh, you got up?" She says, "Yes, it is morning." I said, "No, it is not morning. It is night. You slept whole day and now at the night you are getting up." She said, "No, I can see everything." I said, "Mummy, see, is it day or night?" She said, "It is night." Daddy, what is it, day or night? She said, night, night. She said, "Oh, but mummy just said that you have breakfast." I said, no, 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 she may be mistaken. You are having your dinner. And I played with her mind for good till I came. 8 o'clock, I left. Till then, I was eating her head. And she was going, ah, she was getting frustrated. Huh? So, what is our choice? Do we want, what is a human being? If you say you are a human being, what does being human mean? Tell me. I'm asking, what does it mean to be human? Just being born, just automatically you grew up, parents provided you food and education, then you found someone and got married and have children. Is that being human? That animal kingdom also does. Then what is being human? कभी सोचा? नहीं सोचा, तो अभी सोच लो. Think what is going on in your head right now. Why do you call yourself a human? Just because you can make so many types of different dishes, that's why you are human? That you can go on holidays, you are human? Because you can educate yourself, go to school, therefore you are human? Because you can speak a language and different languages, therefore you are human? Or is there something else which is different from the stone, the plants, the animals, and the gods? What is the difference between you and all the others? You, and we have put it in another way. Good point. Conscious, plant is also conscious, animal is also conscious, God is also conscious, Devatas are all conscious. Intellect expresses as freedom of choice. You have choice. You can make decisions. You can, better word for choice is, you can discriminate. And discrimination is not, should I eat Chinese or should I eat pizza? That is not discrimination. Discrimination means what is true and what is untrue, what is real and what is unreal, what is constant and what is changing, what is infinite and what is finite. This ability, stone doesn't have, plant doesn't have, animal kingdom doesn't have, gods also don't have. Even if they have the knowledge, they don't have the capacity to realize. If they know that, in Kathopanishad, the Lord of Death tells Nachiket, because Nachiket is a human who has come to the kingdom of death because his father said so. So he is not distracted by the girls, the apsaras, the wealth, the power that Lord of Death, Yamraj, is giving him. He says, I wish when I was doing my sadhana, Lord Yamraj is saying, he said, I wish when I was doing my sadhana, I had the discrimination that you, 8-year-old Nachiket, you are having. And I asked, I want to be the Lord of Death, and I became the Lord of Death. And I'm stuck in this position. I have all the knowledge, but I cannot realize. His is relative immortality. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, relative immortality. Only human being can have absolute realization. Those who have had absolute realization, they are called saints and sages. This is, so don't waste. We must not waste our life as a human being. Cherish it. Give it correct direction. Be inspired. Let there be urgency. And to invoke that urgency in us. If urgency comes, if the hunger comes, what do? Mummy, what is there for eating? We straight away ask someone, isn't it? So when we have urgency within us, what direction should our mind take? Where should we go? What should we practice? There are so many scriptures. Which one should? Here, Adi Shankaracharya gives us a succinct, step-by-step unfoldment of our personality so that we can realize we are the infinite one. We can realize we are the infinite. And the first verse goes, Vedo nityamadhiyatam tadudidam. Vedo nityamadhiyatam tadudidam karma swanushtiyatam teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitihi teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitihi kamye matistyajyatam काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम् पापौघ परिधूयताम् भवसुखे पापौघ परिधूयताम् भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयताम् निजगृहात् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् We can chant together. Every one of you have got the e-copy. Send it to her. She doesn't have. Huh? उनको भी भेज दो. Okay, आप ले लो. We will start. वेदो नित्यमधीयताम् तदुदिदम् कर्म स्वनुष्ठीयताम् तेनेशस्य विधीयतामपचितिः काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम् पापौघ परिधूयताम् भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम्. The first thing that when this urgency arises, when the Lord graces us, what has He graced the Lord? How the Lord has graced us? By bringing us to this congregation, by bringing us to a satsang, by bringing the satsang to us, by bringing knowledgeable people into our life from whom we can learn. So this doesn't happen by chance. There is no coincidence. It is perfect planning. We all must have done something in our life in order to be present here at this given moment. It is not a fluke. The universe is perfect order. And that perfect order is expressing like this, and it is expressing because you are ready to listen to what has to be said. Maybe last time when Swamiji came, he also said something like this, but maybe it requires another, what do you call, banging? Another what do you call? Reinforcement. Another reinforcement. Like we studied with Swamiji for 2 years. Initially, we thought we knew everything after a few months. But as we kept going on, we realized that arrogance that we know, gone, man. Battery khatam ho gaya. New one. I don't know. Check. Okay. Hello. Hari Om. So, anyway, they can do it. We can keep listening. So, we need reinforcement. Just like you keep telling your child, put the shoes in the right place. eat food without dropping it outside the plate. Again and again, again and again, again and again. Isn't it? 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6. How many times we must have repeated? Reinforcement. So satsang is like reinforcement. Why we need this reinforcement? Because the moment satsang is over, the world enters into our mind. Right now, you're protected in this environment. Because I'm speaking so loudly, you've got no chance to think about anything else. But the moment half an hour break will come, you watch your mind. अरे चाय बनाई है, कॉफी नहीं बनाई, उसके साथ समोसा. Last 2 days we have been getting samosa. How come there's no samosa today? Yeah. And mind will go on thinking something or the other. Then what is this reinforcement? What is the best way of reinforcing? We're reinforcing ourselves. Here it says, Vedo nityam adhiyatam. Expose your dhi. Dhi is your intellect. Expose your intellect. Nitya. Nitya is regularly, daily. With what? Vedo, Vedaha. Expose them to the scriptures. Expose them to the Shastras. Why? Why we should listen to Shastras? Why should not we listen to some Tom, Dick and Harry? Why should I not listen to anything? I can speak anything, but then why am I taking the Shastra called Sadhana Panchakam? Why? Because Shastras are words. Shastras are words of great masters. Or when we are talking about Bhagavad Gita and Puranas, etc., they are words of the Lord Himself. And there is no more conclusive word than our Shastras. So we must not reinvent the knowledge. We must follow what is given in the Shastras. Yes, sometimes they are very direct. We may not understand everything. You keep exposing yourself and you will start understanding how compassionate the scriptures are, that they take care of every aspect of our life. Not just, they're not just saying, you are the infinite one, or I'm the infinite, or you cringe inside of you. I don't want the responsibility of the whole universe. The whole universe, I am. But slowly, if scriptures are saying something, our thinking should be not how scriptures are wrong. Our thinking should be, how can I bring my understanding and intelligence to match what the scriptures are saying? How can I match myself or bring myself to the level what the scriptures are wanting me to grow up into, grow to be? See? And that's Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. And then he says, Tadudidam Karma Swanushthiyatam. And then that is, Tadudidam means that is what is ordained by them, what is told by them, we should follow. And Karma Swanushthiyatam. And perform your karma in life, meaning perform your duty in life diligently. But what do we want to do? We want to do what other people are doing. He's doing yoga, I will also start doing yoga. And what do you have? Arthritis. And you want to do yoga. He's doing pranayama. I've heard Baba Ramdev ji does pranayama and I've seen it. It's so fantastic. It's life-changing. He says anyone can do it. And they start. Initially, first few days, they will enjoy. After a few months, more problems will come. Why more problems will come? Maybe. But another way of looking at it is, we as a grahastha, we have not yet, the type of commitment you have towards your children, towards your bed, towards your pillow, that this is my pillow, Some people can't even sleep in the hotels because their pillow is not there. So they have to go back home. So you have a commitment. towards your family, towards your job, towards your parents, towards your house, towards your loan repayment, towards your car, etc., etc., etc. But do we have that commitment towards this pranayam? Do we have that commitment towards the yoga? We don't. So what happens? We do the yoga and pranayam on the fly. Sometimes we'll do it, sometimes we'll not do it. Sometimes we'll do it, sometimes we'll not do it. And that is more detrimental than uh, not doing it. So better not do it. But if you do it, commit to it, do that 6 months, 1 year to complete the course so that you are on top of it. It purifies and clears your system inside out. But we don't do that. So here it is called karma swanushtiya tam. Perform the duty that you are meant to perform. Another point here is we want to do what we like. I love to become a lawyer, but life has got other plans. Life has got other plans. Yesterday I met one person and she was telling me her story. That's what we have to do. Listen to the stories and we get examples. And what is the example? She was my classmate and beautiful young girl, not good at studies. Why? I want to get married into a rich family. Every young boy and young girl's dream. They think that way. This thought comes in everyone's mind. And she did get married at 19. She got married into a rich family in Delhi. But what happened? After 3 years, they had an accident and he passed away. And her parents got her married to another person. See what the dream was? I want to get married into a rich family. She herself was from a very good family, armed forces, Air Force family, and never had to do anything, always orderlies there. Went into a rich family, nothing to do, 10 servants there. But life had some other plans. She got married, came here, found a person to whom she was married. He turned out to be a brute. He used to not a good person. And one day when she was never exposed to that type of treatment by a person, so one day she packed her bags and took the child, 6 months old child, and walked out of the house. And she said, Swamiji, for last 35 years, I'm a single mother. I brought up my son and he's 25. He passed out from the Royal Academy of Armed, commissioned officer, whatever we have ADF, Australian Defence Force in Australia. I don't know what it is called here. So he passed out as an officer now, and she says, I had some plans, but life had some other plans. But she was wise that she didn't become resentful towards life. She didn't become untrusting towards people. If you see her beautiful countenance, still very calm, very collected, wonderful person, even in her speech. There's no bitterness about anything, even though all her life she works 7 days a week to take care of, to give him the best of education. So what do we say? We think we want to do what we like. We think we want to do what we love. But scriptures say, they sing a different song. They say, whatever life presents you in life, start loving that. You understand? I want to be a doctor. And how many marks did you get? 54%. So you can keep thinking, I want to be a doctor. You will never be a doctor. It will only lead to frustration and irritation. Then instead, what to do? Right now, my job is to speak. Enjoy the topic that is coming and be unconditionally love the people who are sitting in front and share whatever little knowledge we have. the satsang. That's it. What is your job? Life has brought you here, whether willingly or unwillingly. Come here, then what to do? Okay, I am here. If I cannot escape from here, I might as well enjoy it, isn't it? So our scriptures say, don't do what you like, but love what has to be done. You understand? It's a big difference. Love what has to be done in life. And what has to be done in life? If you are a student, you have to study, love the study. If you are in the playground, love the playground, love the game. If you are a parent, love being a parent, taking care of the children. How? Without attachment. So this is a big difference. Karma swanushtiyata. Perform whatever karmas you have to do, because you cannot, as long as this body, breath, mind, intellect is there, you cannot stop not performing karma, action. Action takes place where? Manasa, vacha, kaya. So action takes place at the body level. What I am speaking, the speech, it is also called as action. And thinking is also called an action. Again, come to the principle. What is action? Where there is movement, there is activity. Activity is another name for movement, isn't it? So where is movement? Thought movement, speech movement, body movement. So what is to be done? Whatever comes to you, start loving it. Oh, if I feel like, if the thought is coming, I should kill someone, I should love that thought also? Not that way, because you will feel bad after that. How many times have we thought, yaar, dosa, today I had 2 breakfasts. Huh? That's why we started late. Huh? So I had dosa, besan dosa where I was staying, and here I had the proper dosa. But I can digest it. I am professional. But I always found a पतली गली होती है ना, पतली गली ढूंढ के मैंने कहा, if I sleep, don't blame me. So in this way, karma swanushthiyatam, we have to perform our own duties at a very worldly level, wherever life is placing you, as a father, as a mother, as a student, as a sannyasi, as a teacher, as a student, as a listener. Perform joyfully whatever has to be done. Walk joyfully. Speak joyfully. Fight joyfully. Argue joyfully. Eat joyfully. If you start enjoying every activity in your life, transformation will automatically start happening. And what is that transformation? That transformation happens because when you are enjoying what you are doing, no memory is created. Purification will start. We want to mimicry other people, and therefore we create more karmas. But if you remain empty in the moment, whatever life is presenting is what was your karma that needed to be worked out. Do it that. Just like that ladies I just gave example. And in this way, Vedo nityamadhiyatam tadudidam karma swanushthiyatam teneshasya vidhiyatam apachiti kamye matistajyatam. Then here he says, tena ishasya vidhiyatam apachiti. Tena. How we should perform the actions? I did it. I spoke. Did I not speak well? Did I speak? Sometimes we say something. Did I do well? Did I not do well? Please tell me. Never over encourage children. Let them never praise children in front of them. When you should praise children? When they are close by, they can only hear from somewhere far away that mummy is talking about me. But in front of you, our habit is what? My child does this. My child did this painting. She sings. She does this dance, and we praise, praise, praise. That child doesn't know how to hear no. That child always wants to be praised. He always feels it's the top. It's not a good thing. Child must always come to hear her praises through third person, from far away, from someone. Someone should come and tell, your mom was so proud of you. That will make a big difference than mom again and again saying, I love you, you are the greatest. अच्छा ठीक है यार. ऐसे ही है. हाँ? तो यहाँ पे क्या बोला है, कर्म कैसे करना है? How we are supposed to perform karma? ते ईशस्य विधीयताम. First, it was told karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Perform the actions. You are told to perform the actions. But as you keep moving forward in your unfoldment, you have to offer all the actions at the feet of the Lord. You perform actions as a offering to the Lord, as rather than an egoistic, a desire oriented, I did it, I thought about it, I achieved it, I am, I'm taking the responsibility and accountability. No, everything that is happening in our life is happening because of the Ishvara. Ishvara's grace. What is happening by Ishvara's grace in your life? Tell me. Did you create speech or it happened? Did you start, today I'm going to start thinking? Did the thinking start like that? Or suddenly you realize, yeah, I have thoughts going on in my mind. Did you create hunger? It comes. Afterwards you say, I am hungry, isn't it? Like this, every aspect of our life is guided, controlled by the Lord, by the Ishvara. So if everything is created by the Ishvara, and we also know that Ishvara is everywhere, just like space is everywhere, Ishvara is everywhere. So if he is everywhere, he is inside also, he is outside also. Why you want to take responsibility? Leave everything to him. He knows the best. He knows the best. And therefore, till we have this feeling that I have to do something, do it, but as an offering to the divine. And teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitihi, and perform the action as a worship to the Lord. Not only offer the results, but also perform the action as a worship to the Lord. So are we performing the action of taking care of our children as an offering to the Lord, or are we doing it out of ownership? I am the parent. Don't you dare not listen to me. Huh? Neither patka. Heart is always ready. Abhay Mudra. Huh? Or Swamiji says, Bhagwan Ram is always there. Stop. सबको बोलते हैं stop. नहीं तो एक फटका पड़ेगा. काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यता. And काम is desires. Mati tyajyatam, from your mind, renounce. Tyajyatam, give up, let go. What? All the desires. Then how will I live in this life? Have you ever thought? How will you live in this life? If you give up all your desires, how will you live in this life? I'm asking before I answer. We have already answered, but you have to connect the dots. How do we perform actions if we do not have any desire? Is blinking of the eye a desire? I'm asking. Is if at this moment I say, or you're sitting there, all of you are sitting there, every now and then you are moving this way, that way, everywhere. Is that out of desire or it's just happening? It's just happening. You have to recognize that everything in your life is only happening. And that happening is by the will of the divine, not because I am hungry, desire. Then that desire will lead to activity. What will be the activity? Go to the kitchen, cut the vegetables, make the noodles, fried noodles, and fill up your tummy. But so much effort. There was one Papa Ramdas. Have you heard of Papa Ramdas? You must have. He's close to Udupi. He's in Kanjangarh. And this Papa Ramdas, he was married, he was a lawyer, he had a son, he had a wife, he had a father, but he was Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Bhagwan ka naam lete the. He was taking the name of the Lord. And one day, it became so full inside of him that he decided, now, without telling anyone, early in the morning, 3 o'clock, he took 3 or 4 annas to take a train ticket wherever it will take him, and came down and was about to open the door. The dad came in front of him. Imagine, but no perturb. He didn't get perturbed. The father, see, this is what happens when you are in tune with nature. This is what happens. The father said, now that you have decided to go, take this mantra and let it protect you. What was the mantra? Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Repeat. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And he went. He got into the train. Well, money over. He got into another train. He wanted to get to Varanasi. Someone said, oh, Babas are allowed in the train. He got into the train. And he's sitting in the general compartment. The ticket checker came. Where is your ticket? I don't have a ticket. I heard Babajis are allowed to go anywhere. He said, you look young, you look healthy, and you are not, get out. He says, how can I get out of the moving train? Next station came and he stopped. See that fellow, that the ticket checker. He called the police, made him get down in the middle of the road somewhere, very small station. And the police got him, all tattered clothes, hasn't taken shower, etc. And took him to the police station, locked him into the cell. In the cell, there was a toilet also, a bed also. And he says, Bhagwan, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, your Leela is aparampar. You made the ticket checker stop the train. You made the police come and pick me up. You knew that I was so tired that you prepared a bed also for me. And they gave him food also to eat. Because prisoners are not sent hungry. So they gave food also. Next morning, the superintendent of police came and he says, who is that today? Yeah, this fellow was going without ticket. He looked at him. He was an educated fellow. He's a great person. And he said, Babaji, where do you want to go? He says, wherever you want me to go. No ichha, no desire. Wherever you want me to go. He said, so he bought the ticket. He himself bought the ticket to Varanasi. And jate samay, he gave him 1 dozen banana. He says, 1 dozen, this is too much to carry. I will take only 2 for myself and maybe 2 for someone else if they want. The rest you take as distribute among yourself. And again the jeep came, took him to the railway station, put him in the train with the ticket, and he went. Living at Lord's mercy, we must trust. We trust our ability more than we trust the ability of the God. We trust our desires. If I don't do it, who will do it? Arey, ye question kitni baar man mein aaya hoga? How many times you must have thought, if I don't take care of my children, who will take care? Are you making the child grow? Are you making the hunger come in the tummy of the child? Someone else is. If he has brought them into creation, he will take care of them. Every animal, even mosquito, If he is born, there is enough food for him. Isn't it? Change your thinking. Why we are asking? Why the teacher is telling you to change the thinking? So that we unfold, we flower. What does flower do when it unfolds? A bud becomes a flower, and flower gives fragrance. And when the bud becomes a flower, the bees come to take the nectar. And what is our situation? Everyone runs away from us. Why? We are touch me not. There's no fragrance because we have not flowered. So flower. How do you flower? Stop having desires. Then how do we function? Whatever life is presenting you every moment, perform it joyfully as an offering to the divine. See the magic within 3 months. What's the time? How much we have spoken? 1 hour? Abhi 10 minutes hai. Okay. 10:30 we started. So, kamye matistyajyatam apaugha paridhuyatam bhavasukhe doshonusandhiyatam. Papauga. By doing this, what will happen? Papauga. All the papas. What is pap? I'm asking you. I will answer, but I'm asking you. What is sin? What is papam? You go in front of the Navakara. Is that papam? You're trying to atone for your papam, isn't it? That please bless me. I don't want to disturb you. Shani Maharaj, especially you. Rahu, especially you. We live with fear. So what is pap? I'm asking you. It's a mistake. Okay, what is that mistake? Anything that is other than adharma. Okay, diplomatically answered. What is adharma? Fear. Okay, fear is adharma. What else? Not following the scriptural way of thinking is adharma. What else? If you have to tell a child, will you use these big words? Adharma, this, that? Causing harm to others. That which we are not supposed to do. Very close. What are we not supposed to do? Then what are we supposed to do? What is your duty? Good. You are thinking from where you are. You are thinking from worldly point of view. You have to rise a little bit above. Go inside a little bit. Papa is every thought which takes you away from the divine is papa. Does everything that you said is covered in that? Think like this. Always think in general principles. Don't think person specific. Then individuality increases. Desires increase. Whenever you think in general principles, you will merge into the totality. Because general principle is common for everyone. So what is pap? We can say, I am only the sattvic paps. He does only rajasic pap. He does tamasic pap. Huh? But what is pap? Any thought that takes you away from the divine. Or even finer, forgetfulness of the divine or the Ishvara or the Atma leads to thought formation, and that is called pap. Think about simple. You don't have to study too much scriptures. एक लाइन में आंसर मिल गया है ना? नहीं तो you read Bhagavatam. If you do this pap, you will be boiled like a pakoda in the hot oil and you will not die. Then another, if you do this pap, you will not die, and every flesh from your body will be pulled away by the vultures. These are all so many examples of different. That is to inculcate the fear that we do not go the wrong way. And what is the wrong way? If you think you are the doer, offer all action to the divine, all the result to the divine, and you do it every day. Whenever you do puja at home, you don't taste the food, you don't ask if the prasad is tasty or not. You know, you have not tasted it, you have made it for the Lord, and the prasad always comes out very fine, isn't it? Absolutely tasty. You never go and ask someone if it was tasty or not, because it was prasad. Then why other times? So in this manner, let's continue. Papa ugha paridhuya. Ah, initially, you think that it is your desire to come here. But as your mind will settle down, you will realize that that thought which came in your mind to come here was also sent by the divine. This comes as a result of quietening down of our mind. There are so many people who got the SMS, they didn't come, but you came. Now to think that I made the decision to come, what are you giving more value to? I. So we want to dissolve the I. So best way is that he put he made the decision for me, and I just followed it. That will be a healthier way of thinking, isn't it? So papa ugha paridhuyatam. So and when we follow Vedo, first few Veda, Nitya Veda dhiyatam, karma swanushthiyatam, tena ishasya vidhiyatam, and kamya matistyajatam. When you do these, all this, what will happen? Papa ugha paridhuyatam. Dhuyatam, धो डालता है. धो दिया, सारे पाप धुल गए. Those who don't understand, washed away. Dhona matlab washed away. So you washed away. Then what happens as a result of washing away of papam? Means washing. What is pap? Every thought that is acting as a speed breaker or a wall between you and the divine. And when that melts away, if you have you watched the movie called Matrix? How does the Matrix melt away? Just vanished. And Neo realizes who he is. Same way, when every night when you go to sleep, do you think that I have to give up all the thoughts, or they automatically go away from your mind? Automatically. Exactly like that. If you live the first few points correct, follow them, automatically papa go. And what will be the result? The result is bhavasukhe dosho nusandhiyata. And as a result, one becomes free from the pleasures of the samsara, and the pleasures of samsara are the pleasure from a proper mic. I can project my voice now. I don't have to try too hard. Bhava Sukhe, pleasure is that I got a very dosa after a very long time. I should have taken one more when it was available. Then another pleasure was I had ordered it. Maybe I should say he ordered it through my mouth. I said, I want a coffee. And coffee was also very tasty. Everything is wonderful. Normal person will do. अच्छा थोड़ा और order कर देते हैं. No. The more you remain empty, the right thing will come to you. So here, bhava sukhe, your attachment to pleasures from the world, it reduces as a result of living these points. Because the pleasure that you get from the world is only temporary. But when your papa is removed by performing actions for the Lord, all the distance between you and the divine. What is the distance between a wave and water? What is the distance between ice cube and water? No, I'm asking. There's no difference. It is also, water is also H2O, ice is also H2O, wave is also H2O, water is also H2O. So there is no distance. How much is the distance between you and the divine? You are also consciousness, individual, and he is infinite or total consciousness. So consciousness, consciousness. How much is the distance between the two? Zero. So where is the distance imagined? In your mind. And by living this, you are all the thoughts that are making you separate from yourself, that is the divine, they dissolve away, just like they dissolve away in sleep. And therefore, uh, uh, anusandhiyatam, recognize this. And then atmecha vyavasiyatam nijagruhat turnam vinirgamyatam. Atmecha. Then what do we do when the mind has become quiet? Desires are not coming. Naturally, your mind is very quiet. Then what is to be done? He says, Atmecha. Start, instead of desiring the world, desire the self. Desire the Lord. Atmecha. Atma icha. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. What does it say? Raise yourself by yourself, in yourself, for yourself. And what is the support? Not a thought. It is the self alone, the consciousness, the life principle alone. So atmecha vyavasiyatam. And how do you do it? Vyavasiyatam. Vyavasaya means work, your job, your duty, your daily engagement. So how do you do the atmecha? Continuously, in spite of doing all the activities in your daily life, in somewhere in the recesses of your mind and heart, continue to have the atmecha, that all this is done by the Lord. And whenever the mind naturally becomes calm, you can't be thinking all the time. It is not possible. Sometimes you get a 30-second break or 1 minute break, or if you're going for a walk, sometimes a longer break. Sometimes when you're going to sleep, before going to sleep, there is a long quiet period before your mind goes to sleep. At that time, what do you initiate? Atmecha. Consistently keep going at it. Whatever you pursue consistently, you become master of it after some time. It's only question of time. So if I become a complaining person, but Swamiji, you never complain, you are always happy. No, I'm trying something new. What? Complaining. I complain once, twice, thrice, and very soon that will become my habit. Same way, seeing Duryodhan and Arjun, both were sent after in the heaven. Duryodhan said, I went into heaven. Yudhishthir said, why am I sent to hell? He was sent to hell for that one mistake, that Ashwathama is dead. So they said, okay. And then afterwards, after few seconds in hell, Yudhishthir was sent to heaven. And after a few seconds in heaven, Duryodhan was sent to hell. He again complained, why am I sent here? So they both were sent on a tour of the universe. Go and find one person. Yudhishthir was told, find one person who is bad. And Duryodhan was told, find one person who is good. Both of them came empty-handed. Because Yudhishthir could not find any person, even the worst person, there was some goodness. His attitude is positive. And Duryodhan, in the bestest of person, he will find fault there also. In God also he will find fault. He did, isn't it? When Krishna came to the court to ask for five villages. So that how do we cultivate ourselves? Vyavasiyatam. Taking care of a child is not easy when you're first time mother, but practice makes a man perfect. Same way, atmecha vyavasiyatam. Practice, continue. You will miss the point many times, but you keep at it by grace, not by your will. By grace, one day it will suddenly click. Just like you practice swimming, and one day suddenly you learn how to float. You practice cycling. Many times you will fall, scratches, blood, this, and suddenly, yahoo! I'm not doing anything. I'm balancing the cycle. Wow! Isn't it? We all have that. We all gone through that, isn't it? It's exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. Keep at it. Keep at it. Child doesn't say, Mummy, I have fallen 10 times. I think I will never walk in my life. Child never says that, no doubt. She has got no doubt she wants to come to Australia. So second time she put the mala around my neck. She gives me a hug. She shares whatever she has. Why? She wants to come to Australia. Dekho, she's persistent. We have to be also persistent. Don't think that we will get the result straight away. That urgency must be there, but we have to be persistent because answer will come, transformation will happen only when he wants it. If it is not happening, understand there's more purification to happen. This is the right way, I'll pursue it. And then last one, vinirgamyatam. And as a result, one becomes free from the bondage of samsara. We'll just read it once and conclude today. First lecture together. Vedo nityamadhiyatam tadudidam karma swanushtiyatam tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitihi kamye matistyajatam papaughah paridhuyatam bhavasukhe दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. Next class will be in half an hour for those who are on the Zoom. In half an hour. I'll close the Zoom and I'll start again. Where is the recording gone, man? Where is the recording gone? Stop recording.